The remainder of the team members will meet at the middle of the field for the Minnesota Prep Bowl pregame handshake. We are now ready to start this Class A championship game.
Well, we are just about ready, but before we get underway for this Class A championship game, let me remind you that this telecast is authorized under rights granted by the Minnesota State High School League solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of these games, including the imposition of a charge for viewing the program without the express written consent of KSTP TV, is strictly prohibited. You're looking at the Hutchinson Tigers. The Tigers against the Panthers.
Sounds like a jungle game.
Tigers and the Panthers going to fight it out at midfield right here in the Metrodome for the Class A championship. Hutchinson. Here's the head coach, Grady Rosberg. You saw a brief look at the bench. There's the Park Rapids bench. Also back, Gene Ulrich, number 19. So it's Ulrich and Bula back to receive for Hutchinson. Kicking off, George Shamus. It is a short kick. They decide to kick away, picked up by Hutchinson and brought up to about the 32-yard line. Number 4, John Carlson received that kick, and we are underway. Hutchinson takes over on offense. Andy Rosberg is, of course, the quarterback. His father, Grady Rosberg, the head coach. 1st and 10. Ball on the 33. I formation. The give is to Lenz, off tackle. He's got several yards. Paul Lenz gained 601 yards on the year. Scored 12 touchdowns. Chris Pike, number 56, on the tackle for Park Rapids. There you see the backs and receivers. That is incorrect. Ignore those names. That was not the names. Andy Rosberg is, of course, the quarterback. That was from an earlier game. Here's the handoff. Off right-hand side, it's number 31, Joel Newcomb. And what a story behind Newcomb. He was injured in the 8th ball game, had to go without him, the Tigers. They just couldn't use him. He was too hurt. Played a little last week, and now has come back for the 83 Prep Bowl. He is a key player here today. Rosberg brings him up to the line. 3rd down, 1 yard to go. Ball on the 42. Straight ahead to Lenz. He has the first down easily.
He's an interesting football player. He's last year's tackle. They moved him to fullback. This first year he's ever played fullback.
Well, he's 6'1", 209 pounds, so he's definitely big enough to play tackle. Play just about anywhere he wants to play. Dan Wattenhofer, number 22, made the tackle for the Park Rapids Panthers. The Panthers on defense had to replace a lot of players, and the coaches have been surprised at the performance of their defense this year. 1st and 10, ball on the 46. Just underway, first quarter action, no score between Hutchinson and Park Rapids. Here's the give up the middle, lots of running room for Newcomb, and Newcomb is inside the 45, down to about the 43-yard line.
That's one of the dangers of playing a 4-4 front, Bob. If you'll look, that front line has 8 players on it, and once you pop that front line, you get into that secondary very quickly. A fast-hitting play such as that option offense can pop that front line.
Another first down, 1st and 10 at the 43. Rosberg again to Newcomb. Newcomb makes a nice cut, but he's pulled down. But not before he picks up about 5 yards. Number 24, Dave Benson, who led this team with 117 tackles. He's a busy youngster. Number 24, Benson, 6 foot, 175-pound junior on the tackle. There you see just some of the crowd here at Prep Bowl 83 as the crowds begin to grow as we go through the day. 2nd down and 5, ball on the 38. Rosberg to give us to Lenz. Lots of running room. That offensive line of Hutchinson really opening up some holes.
Doing an excellent job. They, once again, you take a power back by Lenz and drive him up in there, and you get any kind of good contact on that front line block. But they're controlling the line of scrimmage, which is kind of surprising. It isn't, and then it isn't. That's what's made their offense go all year, a good, strong front line.
More than enough for the first down. As the ball is marked on the 30-yard line. 9 minutes and 16 seconds left in the first quarter. This is a give to Newcomb, but he's met nicely in the backfield by number 42, Tony Hicks, with a fine defensive play.
Little cross trot up front. They take those front four and they do a lot of stunning with him, and they caught him that time on a cross.
Tim Dobratz comes in to replace Jeff Bula, bringing in the offensive play. Second down and 10. Power I formation to give us a Newcomb. Tries to cut off the left-hand side tackle, but no go. Park Rapids suddenly has shut that down. Scott Burlingame, who has been one of the leaders of this defense in 4 of the last 6 games, number 61. They'd love to see another big game out of Scott Burlingame today. 5'11", 180-pound junior. There's a nice look at number 42, Tony Hicks. They use Bula and Dobratz in and out to shuttle in the offensive play. This time they send Bula wide to the right. Wide to the left, to the near side is Newcomb. Shotgun. High snap. Rosberg has it. Fakes the throw, but he's going to run. Has some running room. Turns the quarter. First down and more. He could score. He's inside the 5-yard line. Excellent open field running. Dean Yoakum and Bill May made the stop for Park Rapids.
Rosberg's done a lot of this. This was intended to be a pass, and he just pulled it down and took to the flank. He's got great speed. He's, I think, maybe the second rusher, maybe the top rusher on their team. He's done a lot of running from that quarterback spot.
First and goal to go at the 4-yard line. They give us to Lenz. He is in. Touchdown. Hutchinson scores. Paul Lenz dives in from 4 yards out, and we have our first touchdown of the Class A championship game.
Here we go again. This is just good power. This is just a big man running over some people and putting the ball in the end zone. When he runs north, he's hard to stop. Here we are again. Another good shot. This is a good, beautiful camera work on this one, and he bounces into the end zone.
Gene Ulrich will come in to add the point after touchdown. It is good. And with a timeout on the field, the score is Hutchinson 7, Park Rapids nothing.
Save now during Plywood, Minnesota's annual fall sale.
You betcha. Save on wallpaper and window treatment.
Like this pre-pasted vinyl-coated paper is on sale at just $2.72.
This solid vinyl now on sale from $2.95.
Yup, and we're having free wallpaper clinics at all locations every Thursday night at 7:30.
That's great. Free wallpaper clinics Thursday night.
And don't forget Delmar Window Treatment special up to 40% off.
All during Plywood, Minnesota's annual fall sale.
Direct from the factory to you.
It's Goodman Jewelers' 76th Christmas, and we're celebrating with exciting values. Dress up the wrist of that someone special with one of the latest miracles from Pulsar, creators of the world's most advanced timepieces. There's no present like the time, and Pulsar tells time so attractively. For style, craftsmanship, and timeless dependability, it must be Pulsar, always a beat beyond in technology, in value. For enduring reminders of love, priced for substantial savings, shop Goodman Jewelers, a Christmas gift tradition since 1907.
An impressive drive by Hutchinson, 10 plays, 67 yards, and elapsed time of 4 minutes and 24 seconds, and they lead by a score of 7-0. Number 45, Brad Altermat, will kick off for the Tigers.
Left-footed, he hit it well.
He really did hit it well. Nice return, but a nice stop. Return by number 9, Bill May, an 18-yard kickoff return. Now let's take a look at some of the folks on the field today. Park Rapids, the Panthers, Bill May, Mitch Nelson, left halfback, right halfback, Jeff Packer, Dan Wattenhofer, and Tony Hicks, the strong end. Andy Kuber is the tight end, number 80. We'll get you the people up front in just a moment. First and 10, ball on the 22-yard line. Bill May at quarterback, fakes once, another fake now, wants to throw, looks downfield, and really did not have an open receiver. They wanted to hit number 23, Craig Rossman. They sent him on a fly pattern straight down the field, but he was not open. Here's that offensive line of the Panthers. Blessing, Disney, Boyd, Pat Moore, and Jim Lassala. Second down and 10, ball on the 22. 7 minutes and 12 seconds left in the first quarter. Oh, look at this, a little reverse. Off the right-hand side tackle, some running room for number 34, Bill Magnuson, who is outside the 40-yard line, where Russ Jonas, number 43, makes the tackle. Bill Magnuson found some running room, a nifty little play.
That's the thing we talked about at the start. This is that back-to-back reverse, and you're going to see a lot of this. Their whole offense is based upon that kind of an attack, Bob.
First and 10 at the 42. 1, 2, 3 fakes, and once again, this time it's Jeff Packer, number 20. And not a lot of room on that one. Let's take a look at the defense now for the Hutchinson Tigers. John Carlson, Bob Hanteke, Paul Lenz, you hear a lot of him. Tony Janer, Paul Raditz, Paul Briggs, Carl Visselman, Russ Jones, Tim McGraw, and Gene Ulrich. Those are the men of the defense of the Hutchinson Tigers. Bill May with a pitch out. This is number 20. Jeff Packer turns the corner. He's out to the 50-yard line. A couple of yards short of the first down. Gene Ulrich, number 19, on the tackle. Park Rapids comes right back and shows that they're very capable of driving the football as well. Third down, a little over 2 yards to go for the first. The ball is situated just inside the 50-yard line, just over the 50-yard line. Here's Bill May, a little pitch out now. Number 22, Dan Wattenhofer, has more than enough for the first down. Ed Cairo, of course, working this game with us along with Rob Leary. Ed has something for us right now. Let's go down to Ed.
Got a new wrinkle on defense here, Bob. Number 5, Paul Lentz, the fullback, converted from defense last year, is now at nose guard. They've never used him there this year, but they're going to do it today to put pressure up the middle. Back to you.
First and 10, ball on the 47. May, pitch, now the handoff to 34, Magnuson. This is wild. It's like a pinball machine in that backfield. Carl.
I told you this was a fun offense to watch.
Carl Visselman on the tackle. But on every play, there's at least 2 fakes. Excellent work by the cameraman keeping up with the football. I'll tell you, it's hard just following it with a naked eye, much less through a camera lens. Second down and 6, ball on the 43. Man in motion, this is May. Now he gives back up to Magnuson, number 34. He's inside the 40-yard line, and they just keep picking up 2, 3, 4 yards at a time. Jay Hoffman on the tackle, number 73. A nice tight shot there. Park Rapids offense. Magnuson has carried the ball 3 times for 27 yards already. 4:42 left in the first quarter. Hutchinson leading 7-0. However, Park Rapids, they are driving. The Panthers. Man in motion is Magnuson. Here's the give right off tackle to Dan Wattenhofer. It doesn't go anywhere, and that's probably the first play that they've run all game that didn't have a couple fakes.
First man through handoff. That's unusual. The play before that was the fake counter, and then cross trap back inside. It's kind of an interesting offense.
Fourth down, 3 yards to go. Coming in to punt will be, of course, the man who is already on the field, number 9, Bill May. Has an average of 30.3 yards per kick. Ulrich is back to receive, but this one will go all the way into the end zone for a touchback Hutchinson will take over the ball 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. There's a break in the action with the score Hutchinson 7, Park Rapids nothing.
Roger, I'm impressed. You get a brand new Imaginist set, and your imagination goes wild. I love this motorcycle. It's Allison. Stop. It's a masterpiece. You're a real potential.
Johnson & Johnson introduces Imagine It, the building system that encourages your child to build just about everything, especially imagination.
She could be right. Maybe I'm onto something big.
Imagine It, new from Johnson & Johnson.
My son's moving back in. Double my auto insurance coverage. Thanks for holding, Bob. My wife bought more things for the house. Increased my homeowner's insurance. Byron, this is
Make life
Harold.
simpler for yourself.
This has been the pits.
Talk with an American Family Insurance agent and keep all your protection under one roof.
Hello, American Family.
American Family Insurance.
Look in the white or yellow pages for the American Family agent nearest you.
Back live at the Metrodome. Hutchinson will take over the football. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. That's where Andy Rosberg will direct his team, the quarterback. High formation once again. Wants to pass, looking downfield for Bula, but he's not going to be able to throw to anybody because number 74, Pat Moore, comes up with the first sack of the ball game and a big loss for the Hutchinson Tigers.
That's that crisscross at the line of scrimmage again. Somebody didn't pick him up.
Here's the offense for Hutchinson. Rosberg, of course, the quarterback. Newcomb at halfback. Fullback Lenz also plays on defense. Ben Schaub, the strong end flanker. John Valek. Jeff Bula, the tight end. There you see the offensive line. Schranke, Schneider, Kramer, Gallus, and Kusiera. 2nd down, 19 yards ago. Shotgun formation. They want to run a quarterback draw, but it's no go. Number 70, Mike Baumgartner was there. 5'10", 155-pound senior. Wanted to run a quarterback draw.
I think that's what it looked like to me.
For the Park Rapids Panthers, defensive line and linebackers, Moore, Baumgartner, who just made the tackle, Burlingame, Pike, Wattenhofer, and Benson. Linebackers, Nelson, Wattenhofer, Benson, and Hicks. And the secondary, Packer, Yoakum, and May. 3rd down and 23. Hutchinson needs to pick up some yardage on this just to keep from giving Park Rapids such good field position. Well, they run a little off-tackle play, and Park Rapids is going to have excellent field position. Number 70, Baumgartner, on the tackle for Rapids.
I keep hearing that name Baumgartner already, and that's early in the ball game. He's doing something pretty well up front.
Andy Rosberg, the punter for Hutchinson, is really going to have to try to boom this one out there because if he doesn't, they're going to have excellent position, field position. I'm talking about Park Rapids, number 20, Jeff Packard. Back deep. Along with Bill May, this is Packer, and he takes a fair catch at the 49-yard line. And there is a break in the action. With the score, Hutchinson 7, Park Rapids nothing.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do it fresh. We only serve you plump, wholesome chicken that's just been cooked. Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do it special. Only original recipe chicken is cooked under pressure with the Colonel's 11 herbs and spices, so the seasonings are squeezed into each juicy bite. Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do it
From scratch. We're baking delicious buttermilk biscuits all through the day. Good and yours.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right.
Now, the Starving Artist Group can help you change any room in your home from this to this, or from this to this. This Sunday only, a spectacular new collection of original oil paintings will be on sale at rock-bottom Starving Artist prices. Believe it or not, there's nothing over $39. A huge collection from talented professional artists and nothing over $39.
Starving Artist Group Art Sale this Sunday only. Thunderbird Motel, Bloomington, Holiday Inn, Roseville, noon to 5 p.m. Absolutely nothing over $39.
Back live at the Metrodome. If you just joined us, this is the Class A championship football game of the Minnesota High School League. 1 minute and 49 seconds left in the first quarter. Park Rapids against Hutchinson. Park Rapids with the football in the dark jerseys. Several fakes. May wants to throw. Looks. It is intercepted. Oh, what a hit. But he holds on to the football. An interception by number 2, Carl Visselman. Visselman with the interception for Hutchinson.
It was intended, as you can see, it was a double fake in the backfield and intended, I think, for 33, the fullback, who finally makes the tackle to stop the interception run.
So it's 1st and 10 for Hutchinson at the 42-yard line. They like that I formation. Here's the handoff up the middle to Newcomb. Newcomb is over the 45 to the 49-yard line. Baumgartner, number 70, on the tackle for Rapids. That'll make it 2nd down and 4. They mark the ball just over the 48-yard line. A minute left to play, and this is the first quarter of the Class A championship game. You're looking at the Hutchinson Tiger offense. Rosberg fakes the handoff to Newcomb, keeps it himself, wants to option it, but there's nobody to option to across the 50-yard line before number 33, Mitch Nelson, makes the stop. He had the option there to pitch it out or keep it, decided to keep it, but did not pick up enough for the first down. There's a good look at that formation, offensive formation, the I. 3rd down, about 1 yard to go. The give is to Lenz. It's awful hard to stop Paul Lenz when all he needs is 1 yard. Number 22, the captain of the Park Rapids Panthers, Dan Wattenhofer, made the tackle. But not in time as Paul Lenz picks up the first down. 1st and 10 as they move deeper and deeper into Park Rapids territory. That's it. That's the end of the first quarter, with the Hutchinson Tigers leading Park Rapids by a score of 7-0.
Socks are shot, threads are thin, muffler's gone. Well, come on in. There's more for your life and fear. Where else could you change your tires? Take your aim, smooth out your ride and catch the game. There's more for your life, for the times of your life. There's more for your life at Sears.
With the Craco cordless telephones, you can talk up to 2 blocks away.
To figure that out, it took a genius.
With the Craco cordless, when they want you, they get you.
I told you never to call me in the morning.
With the Craco cordless, you get crystal clear sound.
I could tell it was you, sweetheart, by the heavy breathing.
With the Craco cordless telephone, you're always available.
No, Josephine, I will not be home for dinner.
Craco cordless telephone.
Available at Murphy's Mart.
Well, it's 1st and 10 with the ball on the 45-yard line for the Hutchinson Tigers. They lead in this ball game by a score of 7-0 over Park Rapids. That's Rosberg, the quarterback. Hands to Lenz. Lenz for a couple of yards, but he was met in the backfield almost immediately once he had the handoff. Rob Lear is also working this Class A championship game with us down on the sidelines, and he has something for us.
Bob, with all the success that Hutchinson is having running the football, I asked one of the coaches if defensively they were going to adjust for it. He said, no, we've been playing the basic 4-4 defense all year. We're 12-0. We'll stick with it. Let's go back upstairs.
It's hard to argue when you go undefeated. I mean,
Makes sense to me, Bob.
You can't get too nervous. It's only 7-0. A lot of time left. This is Joel Newcomb, and we'll have a holding call here for sure. Number 61, Scott Burlingame, on the tackle. You always get real nervous as a coach, I'm sure, when you see that official throw that yellow flag right in there at the offensive line, almost hitting the lineman with it. You know that it's going to be holding against the offense.
Yeah, I think I saw it, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to make anybody's mom and daddy unhappy. But it was a big tackle.
Well, you got to protect your guys, you know. I mean, as a last resort, maybe you get away with it, maybe you don't. This time they didn't.
I always thought it was interesting.
Offensive holding. Repeat the down, second down.
The pros, they name the guy, but they get paid for it.
That's right. There's a big difference. They should name the pros. As much money as they make, if they get caught for holding, they should be embarrassed.
Right.
But it's a much different situation here in high school football. If you want to talk about playing for the sheer love of the game, this is the level where it's all at. Shotgun formation. Lenz is the up back. Here's the snap. Rosberg looking in trouble, wants to run it now, makes a nice cut, has some running room inside the 50. Oh, what a vicious hit at the 45. Number 44, Dean Yoakum. Really made Andy Rosberg pay for that yardage dearly.
I'm not sure. I think he's got a pass-run option on this. If he doesn't find anybody open right away, he runs with it. And you can see he's a high stepper. He's got unusually good speed. But you can see Mr. Yoakum come in there. He weighs 190 pounds. That's a pretty good shot.
Well, Rosberg passed for 12 touchdowns, ran for another 10 touchdowns, so you can see he can go either way. Very difficult when you get a quarterback like that. Hard to defense against him. Rosberg again fakes the handoff, looking to pass, looking for Bula, throws over the middle. It's complete to number 84, John Valek. Valek pulls it down at the 31-yard line. Back defending Jeff Packer, number 20, but a nice reception by John Valek.
This is a good play. This is a throwback to the tight end crossing. He finds that seam back in there on the zone, right there. There's a little window in there. That was a great throw. Beautiful camera work on that. That was a great catch.
Gorgeous pass. Well, the Tigers are getting down there where they can knock on the door once again. 1st and 10 at the 31. The give is to Newcomb. Tackled by Wattenhofer. They'll lose about 1.5 on that play. Bring up a second down, 11 yards to go. 9:43 remaining here in the second quarter. Hutchinson, they just come out in almost the same formation every time.
Yeah, they run basically two tight end offense.
Coming right at you. Little fake. This is Rosberg. He's keeping this one all the way. Past the 30, tries to break that tackle, but he can't do it. Wanted to turn that corner, but Dean Yoakum, number 44, said, no, thank you. Well, we do have an injury in the game already. Rob Lear has that report. Rob?
Bob, Park Rapids is playing without linebacker Mitch Nelson. The early first quarter, he twisted his ankle. He tried to give it a go here second quarter. No go. He's going to have to sit out a while and hope that the swelling will go down a bit. Right now they're playing without their linebacker, Mitch Nelson of Park Rapids. Let's go back upstairs.
Thank you, Rob. 3rd down and 7. Ball on the 28 for Hutchinson. Rosberg wants to throw. Screen pass to Lenz to the left. Lenz has it. Gets a couple of blocks. Has the first down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. A well set up screen pass.
Beautiful drop on it. You can see where this young man at quarterback lives with the coach. He's the coach's son, and he took a beautiful drop and dished it off to Lenz, as you can see here. This is what's called a screen drop. It's a second drop. Flipping it out here to Lenz. Watch Lenz get this extra yardage right at the end to get the first down. Just drive for it right there. Beautiful shot.
Rosberg, only a junior. 1st and 10 at the 21. The give to Lenz. Breaks free. Oh, he had one man to beat. And Yoakum went down low to knock down Lenz, who gets inside the 10-yard line to the 9. Yoakum, a very crafty secondary player.
Well, you know, he's only 5'8", but he weighs 190 pounds, or 140 pounds, which makes it pretty tough to come into someone like Lenz, and he hit him low right here. Lenz did a nice job. You picked up a good block by 70. Hits him low because I'm sure he felt if he took him on high, he'd drag him into the end zone. That was a very courageous defensive play.
Lenz now with 7 rushes for 37 yards.
He's kind of a throwback to the old-fashioned fullback. He just heads that sucker north and lets it go. Well, there's a break in the action here. And while there is a break,
Let's take a timeout. Oh, wait a second.
Hello, welcome to Vino's. I'm John Anzavino, and this is where we offer the finest Italian food available anywhere. No pizza, but real Italian cuisine, fettuccine Alfredo, baked lasagna, delicate veal selections, served in elegant surroundings here at Vino's, where you'll find the real godfather of Italian food.
Vino's Godfather Restaurant on 66th and Lindale in Richfield. This is Italian.
More. Don't all these tortilla chips make nachos?
Ah, Tostitos brand tortilla chips.
But customers say one tastes best by themselves. Tostitos, delicious. Right out of the bag, they say.
Incredibly thin, crisp, and mild.
Customers always right.
If you haven't tried Tostitos, you're missing an irresistibly delicious snack. Tostitos, America's best tasting tortilla chips.
What about all these other chips?
What other chips?
Well, they finally decided to indeed take a timeout, so now we are back with live action. You haven't missed anything. It's first down and goal to go at the 9-yard line for the Hutchinson Tigers. A nice shot there of Newcomb and Lenz in the backfield, I formation. Rosberg at quarterback. The give is to Newcomb. Has running room. Oh, not enough. Guess who made the tackle? Number 44, Dean Yoakum. That's the second touchdown that he saved.
Mr. Yoakum's all over that field, but when your safety man is making most of your tackles, something's happening up front, as you can see here. This is just an excellent job of blocking by the line of scrimmage and then finding a very good hole. And once again, as I said, if your safety man's got to make most of your tackles, you're in trouble.
Up front, they only have 2 seniors, so this is a line that will be returning next year. Second down on the 1-yard line. Lenz, touchdown.
I was just going to say, guess who's going to get the ball? I think that's rather obvious when they get that close.
So the Tigers put together another beautiful drive. They take it in. And now lead Park Rapids 13-0, as Ulrich will come on for the point after touchdown.
I think the pretty part of that, if you watch that play, is the way the offensive line shoved the defensive line into the end zone. And Lenz really had the touchdown before he made contact.
So they're shoving that defensive line of Park Rapids back about a yard, yard and a half, maybe 2 yards on every play, and that's really all you need. Ulrich kicks. It's good. And with a timeout on the field, the score is Hutchinson 14, Park Rapids nothing.
There are those who don't need Sorels by Kaufman. Those who don't need the toughness of leather bonded to rubber. The warmth of Sorel's thick felt liner. Or the grip of their sturdy rubber soles. There are those who don't need Sorels by Kaufman. But for those who do.
Sorels by Kaufman, made in Canada, are available for the whole family. Before Cub Foods came to town, things were reasonably calm in the supermarket business. Oh, every once in a while, someone made a rip over the special price on one thing or another. But Cub offers the lowest overall prices every day. Lower than any supermarket. Lower than any warehouse market. Lower than anyone. So any claim of lower prices other than Cub Foods simply doesn't hold water.
Well, the Tigers took 12 plays to drive 58 yards. With an elapsed time of 4 minutes and 14 seconds, they score their second touchdown of this Class A championship game. And the Tigers now lead at 14-0 over Park Rapids. The kick will be returned by May to the 20. 25. Nice return just over the 30, near the 31-yard line. 17-yard kickoff return by number 9, Bill May. Bob Bond on the tackle. Number 72 for the Hutchinson Tigers. First and 10 at the 31. May, the quarterback. Little option. Keeper over the 35. where he's brought down by Tim McGraw, number 7. Park Rapids needs to put together a drive here.
Yeah, they really do. They need to get something rolling. This is probably the first quarter all year that they haven't scored in because they've outscored their opponents tremendously, 120-some to 17 or something like that. So they've been a team that's gotten off early. You wonder then what effect does it have on them not to get off at all in this first quarter and halfway through the second.
2nd and 5 at the 36. Man in motion is Packer. The give, however, is off left tackle Bill Magnuson. He won't have enough for the first down. Let's go down to the sidelines and Ed Cairo.
Just a note, Bob, a few minutes ago, Rob talked about Park Rapids not changing their 4-4 defense, going to stick with what got them 12-0. Hutchinson really hasn't done anything differently on offense either, but they're up 2 touchdowns. Back to you.
Just a good, basic, solid offense. Run it right at you. 3rd down and 2 at the 39. May gives first down, perhaps a little more. Jeff Packer carries the ball for Park Rapids. Paul Briggs, number 89, made the stop for the Hutchinson Tigers. A nice shot of Jeff Packer.
It's a good, strong run by Packer. If you watch him in here, he hammers this in here pretty well. You can see him make contact, and he's not easy to break down. That's a big man, number 89, and he rolls him over backwards. Good, strong run.
Averaged over 7 yards per carry during the regular season. 1st and 10 at the 45. Here's the pitch. Now a little handoff, and the running is a little muddy in there. Not much running room for Packer. Briggs again putting the pressure and sort of messing up the tempo of that play. First the handoff was to Magnuson, and Magnuson gave the ball to Packer.
Hutchinson.
Okay, you take him alone.
Well, a little coaching on the sidelines, trying to make some adjustments. 2nd down 11 at the 44. Man in motion. Packer picks it up, tries to cut around, gets a block, has a couple of yards, but oh, what a hit. He is stood up hard by Gene Ulrich. Ulrich came up quickly to shut down that play. And he has hurt his arm, perhaps his shoulder on that hit. He stays in the ball game, but he is hurt. So there is an injury timeout. For the score, Hutchinson 14, Park Rapids nothing.
Rudis walked me through the mud in white pants, and I'm out of bleach. Use mine, Sue. So liquid bleach. This bleach will clean that muddy dirt, Sue.
Sue doesn't know she's getting Biz Bleach. Biz is bleach, plus energized cleaners liquids don't have.
They're so white and bright. What was that bleach? Biz bleach. Biz is bleach? I better get some. Or a smaller dog.
Discover Biz Bleach and discover a clean whitewash.
At the Pan American Ocean Resort Hotel, you can work on your tan around our Olympic-sized pool, dine in our sumptuous restaurant, shop at the nearby exclusive Val Harbor stores, go fishing on our own Bertram 38, play tennis, take in the races, golf at the club, or do just what you've always wanted to do, nothing at all. The Pan American Ocean Resort Hotel, a small luxury by the ocean's edge midway between Miami and Fort Lauderdale.
Here's that last play again in which Ulrich injured his shoulder, we believe. He is walking off the field at this moment. But watch this hit that he put on Jeff Packer. Just stood him straight up.
That's what you call putting your hat on him. He did an excellent job. He's only a sophomore. He looks fine. I think he's going to be okay. He just probably stunned himself by hitting so hard.
3rd down and a very long 8 yards to go. Ball at the 47. Back to pass is May. Screen to the right. This is Packer. Over the 50. Lots of running room, and he has the first down as he goes inside the 40-yard line of the Hutchinson Tigers. Paul Briggs on the tackle. Rapids uses the screen to pick up a crucial first down in this drive.
Screen drop. Let him in, drop him deep, dish it out to Packer. Picks up some good blocking, gets some good blocking out in front.
They spot the ball at the 40-yard line, 1st and 10. 4:35 left in the second quarter. Breaking through with more running room once again is Jeff Packer. Visselman on the tackle, number 2 for Hutchinson. Packer, I remind you again, he had a strain in his arch and had some problems, but it appears that he is healthy for this game. Second down, 3 yards to go. May gives to Magnuson. Magnuson gets inside the 30-yard line as Rapids continues to drive. And that should be enough for the first down. Depending on where they spot that ball, they spot it right on the 30-yard line. It will be close, and they will measure. What do you think, Cal? Maybe by a nose?
Well, let me see. I got to take a look at this. I'm stalling till I see this chain stretch.
By a nose.
You got it by the nozzle.
He's short by a nose.
Oh, he's short by the nozzle. Okay.
He's short by a nose.
Hutchinson is doing something pretty intelligent against what's happening. They've got a 9-man front, actually. But then the same thing happens once you pop that front 9. Because I suppose because of the reputation of the lack of passing by Park Rapids, they've got 9 men on front, and they're only playing with 2 safeties. Their 2 cornermen are stacked inside, which is a tough defense to run against. But like I said, if you pop it one time, the quick hitter will get through that a lot quicker than that double handoff stuff in the backfield.
Third down and inches for Park Rapids. In motion is Packer, and he will not get it. The handoff was to Dan Wattenhofer, but good penetration by the defensive line, Bob Bowney and Russ Jonas. Bowney and Jonas on the tackle. Nice penetration. Fourth down and inches. In fact, maybe almost a yard. Here's the pitch. He will not get it. A big defensive stand as Packer does not pick up the first down. Bob Bowney with the tackle. And that's going to do an awful lot to the momentum of Park Rapids.
There's 3 or 4 things that really make a difference in attitude of the game. A goal line stand or a stand in the middle of the field. A 4-down stand such as that is one of them.
So Hutchinson takes over the football. 1st and 10 at the 31. Just 2:55 left here in the first half. They give to Newcomb. Out to about the 35-yard line. So it appears that Hutchinson will take a 14-0 lead into the locker room at halftime. Rapids, I'm sure, would have loved to at least get 1 touchdown so that they would only trail by 7 in the second half. Now they're going to have a bigger hill to climb in that second half. 2nd and 6. Rosberg to Lenz. Lenz breaks it, has running room. Oh, he's out to the 45-yard line. Dean Yoakum, number 44 on the stop. Here it is again. Lenz just looks for a little running room, and there really wasn't anybody there. Excellent blocking up front by that Tiger offensive line. That would be on that side, Paul Snyder and Lance Soronke. High formation. They've got Tim Dobrat split wide to the left. Want to throw the football? No, it's just an option. Nice block there. Tries to turn it, Rosberg, but he doesn't get much. A pickup of 3 or 4 yards. Jeff Packer, number 20, on the tackle. He draws that ball back like he's going to throw, but you can almost tell his intent is to purely run with it.
Similar to a quarterback draw, except he does it from the shotgun. I think he's just trying to get the secondary to squat a little bit and to give people blocking position on him.
Rosberg, 7 rushes for 30 yards. 2nd down and 7 at the 48. 1:20 left to go in the first half. Rosberg fakes the handoff. Now the keeper inside the 50 to the 47-yard line. just shy of the first down. Dean Yoakum, number 44, on the tackle once again. Timeout is called on the field by Hutchinson.
Ross was shaken up on the play, as you could tell.
I was talking to someone earlier. I mentioned the fact that I'm glad. You notice the coach in the huddle. I'm glad that they didn't have that rule when I played high school football, because they used to yell at me enough when I got over to the sidelines, much less if the coach was coming out onto the field. Let's go down to the sidelines to the Park Rapids bench.
Bob, more injury news for the Park Rapids bench. Senior guard Pat Moore has separated his shoulder. He will not play the rest of this football game. Senior guard Pat Moore was injured on the last series. He will not be back this evening. Let's go back upstairs.
That's a tough break.
We'll have to see who they move in to replace him there at that defensive end position, possibly number 67, Jim Lassila. We'll try to spot who's in there. Third down and 2 at the 47. The give is to Lenz. Powers his way. Bowles fumble. Picked up by Bill May. Park Rapids comes away with a fumble recovery. Lenz had a big pickup, the first down, but he lost control of the football. Park Rapids will take over.
Here's the replay. That was a mid-air pickup of that fumble, and that's a break. That's a break that they might need if they don't have a lot of time.
47 seconds left in the first half. This is May. Lots of running room. He should have the first down and more. He's inside the 50 to the 46-yard line before he's knocked out of bounds on the far side of the field by number 11, Andy Rosberg. Well, they're going to have to move the ball and move it in a hurry. With just 40 seconds remaining here in the first half, that was a key turnover for them, because if they'd have gone to the locker room down 21-0, it would have been a bit difficult in the second half. And they may still pick up some points here in the first half. This is May. Wants to throw. Looks downfield as a man wide open, number 23, Craig Rossman, but he doesn't catch it. He was all alone.
That would have been some turnaround on momentum with the catch on that. Watch this play. I was just going to say, with their inability to throw the ball, he threw the ball pretty well on this one. Had him wide open. Just a step too long. I thought it was closer catch than that, but it was really on the fingertips, and that it would have had to been some kind of a miraculous catch.
What a great call by the bench of Park Rapids. Beautiful call. Second down and 10 at the 45. 34 seconds. Couple of fakes. Now this is Magnuson. Turns the corner but stays in bounds. I don't know if that's such a good call. Now they're going to have to use one of their timeouts.
No, you've either got to throw the ball or get to the boundary real quick when you've only got 27 seconds left.
Yeah, running off tackle's not going to do it when you're fighting the clock.
Maybe the fact that they don't throw the ball very much is the reason they got so far open on that particular play, because I'm sure they surprised Hutchinson on that particular play.
Well, if they're going to get some points here in the first half, they're going to have to put that ball up in the air again, I believe, especially when they're 40 yards from the end zone. Don't forget, coming up immediately following this game, the AA championship between Bloomington Jefferson and the Coon Rapids Cardinals. Should be a great matchup. A lot of talented football players on those two teams.
I saw their playoffs Thursday and Friday night, and I was impressed not only with those two, but with the two teams they played. It was it's good AA football. AA football has really made great progress in the last 10 years in the state of Minnesota.
Third down and 5, but more importantly, only 27 seconds left here in the first half. Bill May drops the pass. Lenz with the rush screen pass, and it's dropped by Bill Magnuson. Well, they set that up pretty nicely. That's a nice call.
That's the same screen they threw going the other way, and very well executed. They're a well-coached football team. Fundamentally, they do things very well. They just haven't been able to get on the board.
Now what do you do? 4th and 5, Coach. 22 seconds left.
Oh, you got to try something and just don't throw the interception. Just don't give somebody something that boomerangs on
Well, you don't have to go for the bomb. You just pick up the first down, get out of bounds, and then you got a couple of more plays. Well, inside reverse there. He's got running room. He has the first down, but he can't get out of bounds. He's to the 25. They'll have to call a timeout immediately, and they do, and 15 seconds remains on the clock. Paul Lenz, number 5, on the tackle.
This is a good play. This is a pitch to the halfback, a handback, pitch to the wingback, hand off to the halfback, reverse, and it's an excellent play. They double down on the tackle and kick out the end, and he found good running room inside. Right here, as you can well see, some good blocking downfield.
And for Jeff Packer, the man carrying the football, 9 rushes for 37 yards on the day. Park Rapids now has 1 timeout left. Only 15 seconds on the clock. So they'll get at least, well, they should get 2 plays out of this.
Packer's playing awfully well for someone that couldn't walk a week ago. Playing with great courage.
Over 1,000 yards during the regular season. Scored 11 touchdowns. A look at the far side of the field, and Grady Rosberg, the coach of the Hutchinson Tigers. There's the coaching staff. Well, 1st and 10, ball on the 25, only 15 seconds remaining in the first half. This is May, fakes twice, in trouble, he's pulled down on a great defensive play for the Tigers, number 66, Joel Raditz. And Park Rapids uses their last timeout of the first half with 6 seconds to play. And now they're going to have to go for the end zone.
Hoop in the holler. Throw it up and see what comes down.
Maybe something would have developed on that play, but Joel Raditz was in there quick enough to prevent Bill May from having any operating room whatsoever. Second down and 19, but that's pretty much meaningless. There's only 6 seconds left on the clock, so they will get one more play, one more chance to get into the end zone. Hutchinson leading 14-0.
You notice when... Go ahead, Bob.
Well, here we go. Last play of the first half. Bill May at quarterback. And they give it up the middle to Packer. He breaks it, but I don't think he's going to have enough to get into the end zone by any means. And that is the end of the first half as Jeff Packer is tackled by Joel Raditz. And Hutchinson will take a 14-0 lead into the locker room here at the half. Hutchinson very impressive in the first half against Park Rapids. However, Park Rapids with a couple of nice drives of their own. However, they just haven't been able to put it into the end zone. Down on the sidelines now is Rob Lear, and he's standing by with the head coach. Rob?
Yes, that's Andy McCarthy. And, Coach, we saw a lot of shifts, a lot of formations, but no points on the board for your side.
Well, I tell you, we're really hurt. We've got a sophomore in the backfield now, and Packer can't run, and May can't run, you know, and we're just going with a young team. We just lost our guard, so we had to go down to another young kid. We're pretty well beat up.
Is Hutchinson doing things you didn't expect, or did you expect them to stay on the ground the way that they have been all year?
Yeah, they're just physically beating us. We made some dumb plays, too. We had kids, that's how a kid got hurt. He was really out of position. He screwed up, and he got hurt.
So you're just really banged up.
Yeah, and we're not playing good football either. We're making them look like a pretty good football.
So what do you tell them at halftime?
Pull up the old straps and see if we can get a little courage. I suppose the logical question to ask at this point is when you have the richness of 2 touchdowns on the scoreboard, what do you do now?
Well, they're a very explosive football team, Ed, and we've just got to make sure we don't give them a big one, along with... Both teams are pretty tired. It's hot down here. We're platooning pretty much, so we're hoping that maybe we're not quite as tired as they are.
You know, you're asking an awful lot of your fullback lengths in that context, not both ways all the time, but you're asking him to do some special things. Are you going to wear him out?
Well, it's the last game of his high school career. He's just got to find some way to play.
I imagine he's been a pleasant surprise for you this year.
Well, he was a defensive tackle last year for us. He's running well at fullback, and he's playing in a down position where he's more familiar. He's played linebacker before.
Any changes?
No, we're going to keep going after them up inside. They're cutting the outside off, taking our option away, but they're giving us the inside. We can throw deep on them if we've got time to throw.
Okay, Grady, thank you very much. Good luck.
Also for the Park Rapids supporters as well. There will be a welcome home celebration for the Hutchinson Tiger football team at 3 o'clock tomorrow at the Hutchinson High School Gymnasium. The public is invited. There will also be another celebration, a welcome home celebration for the Park Rapids Panthers at the high school at 3 o'clock. A car caravan will form at the Hubbard Corner, 4 miles south of Park Rapids. The Hubbard Corner. Probably no relation to the boss, Stanley Hubbard.
I know where that corner is. 4 miles south of Park Rapids.
Do you really?
Sure. I go to Park Rapids often. Great fishing country.
Get up there and catch them walleye. And just about ready to go into the third quarter. 14-0 Hutchinson. If you just joined us, this is the Class A championship game. We have the AA game between Bloomington Jefferson and Coon Rapids coming up immediately following this game. And for you 6 o'clock news viewers, Eyewitness News was preempted today because of the Prep Bowl, but we will have a late newscast immediately following that AA championship game. Eyewitness News will air immediately following that Jefferson-Coon Rapids game. Just about ready to go here in the third quarter.
I'm surprised when Grady said it was hot down there.
Altermat Brad is going to kick it off. Back deep will be Bill May and Jeff Packer. And it's a squibbly kick. They don't want to see Packer return it, but he gets it anyway. He's to the 20. 25, makes a cut to the 30. Some running room to the 35, cuts back to the outside, and is brought down just inside the 35-yard line. A 19-yard kickoff return. They tried to kick it away from him, but he wound up with a football anyway. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Rapids at the 34-yard line, and they need to get something cooking here.
In a hurry. They need to get some kind of a change in momentum.
Bill May with a pitch to Nelson. And Nelson has nowhere to go. Nelson pulled down up front by number 78. Number 72, rather, Bob Downey. That's the first carry in the game for Mitch Nelson, who gained 969 yards during the regular season, but that's his first carry in this championship game. 2nd down and 9, the ball on the 35. Man in motion, number 33 is Nelson. He has the football, and he has running room to the 50, 45, 40, and he's dragged down from behind by number 19, Gene Ulrich. Mitch Nelson hasn't seen a lot of action, and suddenly he pulls off one of the largest gains of the day for Park Rapids.
This is a great play. That's that cross trap inside. That's a 2 fakes and a handoff to Nelson. Does a beautiful job of getting outside and breaking the boundary, and the safety man has to come over and make the tackle, or he'd have gone all the way with that. That's the thing that the Hutchinson coach was talking about. Don't give him that long one.
1st and 10 at the 38. Man in motion, they give it to Rossman. Rossman coming from that wide out position. Picks up 2 to 3 yards. And is shaken up just a little bit. Bob Bowney and Paul Briggs on the tackle. Rossman comes out of the game. Coming back in, Andy Cooper, number 80. Just underway in the third quarter. Park Rapids in the dark jerseys and the light jerseys, the Hutchinson Tigers. Bill May at quarterback. Several fakes, keeps the ball, wants to throw, has it complete, and it is dropped by Mitch Nelson. I think at first he wanted to go deep to Andy Cooper, but then decided to go short to Nelson.
Yeah, I believe you're right. Nelson came off the wing back, and he faked that run that he had. He set it up with the play before, and I think he wanted to go deep, but that's the second receiver. You'll see him right here. He fakes to Nelson, and then drops, and then he throws off to Nelson, but Nelson dropped the ball, and we got somebody down, Bob.
Yes, there's an injury timeout, so we'll take a timeout with the score Hutchinson 14, Park Rapids nothing.
Business owners, are you gambling everything you own? There are some common business situations where a catastrophic lawsuit could result. Ordinary liability policies may not protect you against an unusual or excessive loss. Today, court costs and judgments can be astronomical. Protect what you can't afford to lose with a Federated Umbrella Liability Policy before it's too late.
Oh, my golly. Hey.
In Hutchinson, see Rob Rundglein in Park Rapids called Jack Kennedy.
We are very free. Caffeine free. Chocolate, cold, and crispy. We are very free. Caffeine free. Always caffeine free.
Hey, America, you're going to love the great cola taste of regular Pepsi Free. And wait till you try delicious Diet Pepsi Free. There's no Diet Cola like it.
We are Pepsi free. Caffeine free. It's chocolate, cold, and crispy. We are Pepsi.
Back live at the Metrodome, the injured player, number 5, Paul Lenz, goes down, but he did walk off under his own power. Lenz on the offensive side of things for Hutchinson, 10 rushes for 56 yards. They can ill afford to lose him. 3rd down and 8 for Park Rapids. Nelson with some running room to the 30, inside the 20, the 15, he's gone. Touchdown Rapids.
That looks more like the explosiveness of the Grand Rapids team that we had heard so much about.
Mitch Nelson found some running room, made the appropriate cut at the right time, and he has Park Rapids on the scoreboard.
This is that wing-back reverse again. He's got good speed, Bob. He outruns a couple of pretty good football players.
He is striding. Point after touchdown will be attempted by George Shamus. It is good. And we suddenly have a new ball game as Park Rapids comes out and promptly gets on the scoreboard. The Tigers still lead it, but the score now is 14-7. And the Park Rapids faithful are celebrating. Injured player on the field appears to be number 72, Bob Bowney. He has led this team in sacks. He is injured. Injury timeout. Let's take a break here for just a moment. The score, Hutchinson 14, Park Rapids 7.
Could we see the McCulloch 610 chainsaw?
But you're beavers.
Oh, it's not for us. It's a birthday present for our dad. He just doesn't have the bite he used to.
Well, the 610 sure has power to spare. Come on around back, boys.
Gosh, it starts faster than Dad, too.
Well, that's the electronic ignition.
Gee.
If you buy one now, you get a $35 rebate.
Gee whiz. What's that?
A chain brake for safety.
Wow.
Any more questions?
That rebate? Yeah, it'll put us in the chips.
McCulloch with chain brake and get a $35 rebate.
Read all about it. It's our store-wide home sale with scores of savings on top brands like General Electric's Toast and Broil Toaster Oven with continuous self-cleaning interior. It bakes, toasts, even broils, so it's perfect for holiday meals. And now our sale price plus a $5 rebate from GE makes your final cost just $44.97. Check the amazing savings in every department now.
You're looking at the Park Rapids touchdown, number 33, Mitch Nelson. 3 rushes for 64 yards, all in the second half, and we are just underway in the second half. So Mitch Nelson has suddenly come on to spark the Park Rapids football team. Hutchinson will receive back deep, number 21, Jeff Bula, and number 19, Gene Ulrich. The kick will be returned by Bula. The 20, 25, breaks free over the 30-yard line to the 32. Mike Baumgartner on the tackle. Let's go down to the sidelines now.
Bob, Mitch Nelson, who just scored that touchdown for Park Rapids, is on the bench with an ice pack on. Keep in mind, he did not take a handoff in the first half because of that sprained ankle. He has retaped it at halftime. He said it feels great now, but they just want to get some ice on for precautionary measure. Let's go back upstairs.
I'll bet he'll be back in there when they get that football again, that's for sure. 1st and 10 at the 32 for Hutchinson. Rosberg at quarterback. Hands off to Newcomb. Newcomb with running room makes a nice cut over the 40-yard line, and he'll be just shy of the first down. Andy Cooper, number 80, on the tackle.
I know one thing, there's a lot of folks in Park Rapids will piece back in there. the way he's running this third quarter.
Only 3 carries in the entire ball game, all of those in the second half. Newcomb now with 11 rushes and 50 yards. Joel Newcomb, number 31 for Hutchinson. Lenz and Newcomb are the setbacks. Newcomb gets the football, breaks off tackle to the 50-yard line, and maybe a little more. Easily enough for the first down. This Hutchinson football team, nothing fancy. They just line up one-on-one and just go right at you.
They're just rolling that tailback in there, and he's looking for a soft spot. They're doing a pretty good job at the line of scrimmage, and they've got him playing deep and rolling.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line. 9 minutes and 5 seconds left to go in the third quarter. This is Rosberg to Newcomb. And this time, Newcomb doesn't find the running room, as he'll pick up only a couple. Scott Burlingame with a tackle, number 61. A look at the Park Rapids bench.
There aren't any of them sitting down, Bob. They're all up and at him.
Right now, they trail by 7 points. Power eye. Rosberg to Newcomb. Newcomb off left tackle. He's got 5'6". And he's inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. Dan Wattenhofer, number 22, made the tackle, but Newcomb is hurt. And it appears that it is his hip. He may have landed on that hip. Well, we talked earlier about landing on the points of your body, and it appears that this time he landed on his hip.
See, that's just that soft spot running. He gets an awfully good helmet on the hip.
Right there, you can see.
You see the helmet driving through on the hip. Watch the tackle. Watch the helmet. Watch the helmet. Number 22, that's a pretty good hit.
And that is exactly the side that he is holding, his right hip. Well, there's a break of the action with the score, Hutchinson 14, Park Rapids 7.
You're looking at a business that's about to die. One of many each year that close permanently because of a common disaster. No, not fire, but business insurance that only covers part of the loss. At Federated, it's our business to protect yours. Because what good is insurance that covers only part of your loss when you've got everything to lose?
In Hutchinson, see Rob Rundglein. In Park Rapids, call Jack Kennedy.
My Pioneer soybeans look good all summer long. But just look at those beans now.
You know, I count on my Pioneer sales representative for good advice, and he was right again. Just look at these beans.
There are a lot of good reasons to plant Pioneer beans, but the best reason is, well...
Just look at those beans from Pioneer.
Joel Newcomb, who was the injured player, is walking around on the Hutchinson sidelines and more than likely will return to action. Looks like he's all right. Third down and 3 yards to go on the 43 for the Tigers. Here's the handoff up the middle. Running room is Lenz. Paul Lenz just bulls his way through that defensive line. Pity the poor fellow who gets in front of him.
A lot of the time it's been Yoakum.
This time, number 9, Bill May.
I was wondering how many times these young watch them. This is not a very good, not a very big defensive backfield, and you can see when Lenz hits them, they roll pretty well.
Boom. First and 10, ball on the 33. Lenz and Ulrich are the setbacks. This is Ulrich, breaks off left tackle. He's inside the 30, near the 26-yard line. Dean Yoakum, number 44, the secondary of Park Rapids, extremely busy here. 7 minutes and 42 seconds remaining to be played here in the third quarter. Park Rapids trails by 7, but the Tigers are driving. We have an injured player coming off the field. It looks like an equipment problem. He's not injured. Jeff Packer left the field. Got a rich end of the ball game. That last carry was his first rush of the game. Now this is Lenz. He'll carry a couple of players for a couple of more yards, almost to the 20-yard line. And that's good enough for another first down. So the Hutchinson Tigers just keep marching on.
That's what you call sawing wood. Just hanging in there, sawing wood. Just keep hammering them. Coach Rossberger said they were going to have to run inside. They've done an awfully good job of it.
And they're really running off time on that clock. Ball control offense. This is Newcomb. Newcomb with running room. If he could have broken that tackle, he would have gone all the way, but Bill May came up to make a nice stop on Joel Newcomb, who has returned to action.
That saved the day. May saved the day.
Newcomb was the leading rusher during the regular season. As I said, he was injured in the 8th ball game and was out most of the season, but he has come back to play here in Prep Bowl 83, and you see there, big, tall fellow. Second down. Newcomb has the first down. Burlingame on the tackle, number 61. Well, they'll measure. They'll measure. Oh, I'm going to say, I think they've got it.
I think they've got it, too. You know, they've taken just 2 plays, running the same 2 plays right and left, and they've come, this whole drive has been nothing but fullback belly and tailback curling back in.
Well, it's been a good combination. It is indeed a first down. A good combination of Lenz and Newcomb. Lenz has rushed 12 times for 72 yards. Newcomb has rushed 16 times for 75 yards.
Nice, patient offense, Bob.
Could really appreciate the blocking by that offensive line. First and 10 at the 11. Lenz breaks the tackle, keeps going, and scores the touchdown. He carries Jeff Packer into the end zone as Lenz goes in to make it 20-7 in favor of Hutchinson.
That's just good, tough power running. Good blocking at the line of scrimmage. Roll that fullback in there on the belly play. Give him the ball. Watch him protect that ball and run behind his pads. That's important, to run behind your pads.
He was hit at about the 3-yard line, and then on second effort made it into the end zone. Ulrich comes in to add the point after touchdown. High snap, however, he gets the kick away, and it is good.
Lenz is an impressive runner for never having played fullback before. There is some experience necessary to become good at it, but he runs with a lean and runs behind his pads very well. He's a big man.
So with the point after touchdown, Hutchinson leads it 21-7, and here it is again.
Watch him get down behind those pads now, leaning forward. He reminds me of a youngster we used to have by the name of Jimmy Perkins. We used to call him Designated Scorer Perkins. Remember him from Red Wings a few years ago? He only carried the ball 10 times, but he scored every time he carried it until they were off from the 3-yard line in.
That drive took 10 plays, 68 yards, elapsed time of 5 minutes and 52 seconds. For Lenz now, 13 rushes for 83 yards and a mere 3 touchdowns.
That isn't bad.
Not bad for a defensive tackle playing fullback. 6 minutes and 8 seconds remaining to play here in the third quarter, and Park Rapids is going to have to answer that touchdown if they're to stay into this game. They trail now again by 14 points. Packer and May back to receive. May at his own 5-yard line. To the 25, the 27, where he is brought down by Maureen, number 6. That's a 23-yard kickoff return by Bill May. And there he is, Mr. Paul Lenz, 3 touchdowns on the day, and that's a pretty big chunk there to be trying to pull down to the turf here at the Metrodome. First and 10 at the 28 for Rapids. This is May. Hand off to Nelson. He hands off again to Packer, and Packer picks up a couple of yards, and there is a penalty flag. I don't want to guess on this one. Late.
I didn't see it.
Maybe a personal foul.
Face mask.
Face mask. Face mask penalty against Hutchinson. Hutchinson has not made a lot of mistakes in this football game. They played a real clean game. So a big boost from the face guard penalty.
Face mask penalty on the defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Those are the kind you like to get.
You know, there is only a 15 in college and high school. There aren't degrees of face masks as there is in pro football.
Hutchinson only with 2 penalties. Some discussion on the near sideline. (21-7) in favor of the Hutchinson Tigers. 5 minutes and 39 seconds remaining here in the third quarter.
They inadvertently ran some time off the clock, Bob. They ran some time off the clock while we were pacing off the penalty. I believe that's what the discussion is.
Well, now they crank up the clock again and are ready to go. First and 10 at the 44, thanks to a 50. May fakes the handoff, gets a block, throws. It is incomplete. Overthrown Andy Cooper, the intended receiver. It appears that they could start hitting those short passes if they could get a little better passing out of Bill May. May right now has attempted 7, only completed 1, and he's also had 1 interception.
See, the intermediate zone's so wide open because you're playing a 2-deep zone with your halfbacks and playing everything else underneath for the running game, and that was a crossing end that he was wide open if we could get him the ball.
Second and 10. They want to throw again. He has the time. He has the man open. It's Russman. He has it at the 25, inside the 20-yard line to the 19. Craig Russman, Tim McGraw on the tackle. Russman, who missed a long pass earlier, made good this opportunity.
That was, once again, that's a good play. This is the same old thing. If you don't throw often, you oftentimes catch people somewhat asleep at the switch. Good speed, good pattern, well-executed pass. Beautiful. Couldn't be thrown any better.
First and 10, they mark it at the 20. May give to Nelson. Nelson, the 15, fights his way down to the 13-yard line. Well, Nelson's back in there, so the ankle must be doing all right.
We put this one in, we got us a real good ball game the rest of the way.
4 minutes and 43 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Hutchinson, 21. Park Rapids, 7. Park Rapids driving. Bill May at quarterback. They fake, give it to Packer. Packer breaks free. He's at the 10-yard line and is hit solidly. It appeared that he would get more, but that defense of the Tigers really closed in quickly. It'll be third down and less than a yard.
This is that counter again. Good inside, but this is awfully good job of pursuing and tackling by the Hutchinson defense. There's 4 people on the pile, and that's pretty good pursuit.
Russ Jonas came over to make the initial stop.
Yes, super job on it.
Third down, less than a yard. The give straight up the middle. He's hit. He doesn't have it. Dan Wattenhofer. And it didn't appear to me that he had it. He may have made it back to the original line of scrimmage before Tony Janer made the tackle. What a beautiful defensive play, Cal.
Beautiful defensive play, but evidently they gave him forward progress, which in that close of a play is pretty hard for you and I to sit up here and tell.
Well, they pick up the first down, but Tony Janer had one man blocking him, and he still made the tackle.
Stood the whole thing up, yeah.
First and 10, so Rapids now knocking on the door. May gives to Nelson, now and he hands off to Packer. Packer to the 5. He scores! Touchdown, Rapids. A handoff to Nelson. Nelson gives it to Packer, and Packer puts the Tigers to within 7, puts Rapids rather to within 7 points of Hutchinson.
This is that counter again. This is the thing they do so well. They're getting awfully good blocking out of their backs out on the corner, as you can see there. He drives it in the end zone. And, Bob, we got a football game, I believe.
George Shamus in for the point after touchdown, and Shamus puts it through. And we have a 7-point ball game as Hutchinson leads 21-14. Here it is again, and look for number 20.
Watch the blocking out in front of the play. The right guard pulls and does a beautiful job of turning the end out. And then we get a good lead block by our off halfback right here. Cutting back inside. Good strong run.
Some excellent blocking on that play. Let's see if we can pick up who made that last block.
Watch 61, our right guard, opened it up. 23.
That's Craig Rossman.
That's Rossman out in front on the corner. Good job of breaking it back inside.
That drive, 8 plays, 72 yards, elapsed time of 8:26. We now have 3 minutes and 34 seconds left in the third quarter. Rapids trails by 7 points. Rosberg is back to receive along with onside kick. Rapids recovers. What a surprise here. Rapids caught Hutchinson napping on that one.
We saw about the same thing in this morning's game, although I'm not sure the morning game it was intentional. Watch this. He just drives that ball right into whoever's up front for Hutch. Looked like Larry Kramer.
Do you think that was an intentional onside kick, or were they going to scrib it and then accidentally hit the player?
I don't think it was an onside. If it's an onside kick, intentional, it's one of the few I've ever seen like that.
He just hit it too hard.
I think he did, too.
What a big break for Park.
Bob, I have the answer to your proposed question about the onside kick. It was not intentional. But one of the Park Rapids coaches did notice that some of the Hutchinson players were dropping off on that first line. They felt they could spot an opening down there, but it was not an intentional onside kick, but it works for them nonetheless. Let's go back upstairs.
Well, they should put that play in their playbook. Number 53, Larry Kramer, the center, leaving the field.
That's the man that was hit with the ball.
Well, they didn't call the onside kick, but nonetheless, in a championship game like this, those are the kind of breaks that can mean the difference between winning and losing a championship. They trail 21-14. Rapids with the football just inside Hutchinson territory. Back to pass. The man is hit, and it is incomplete. It is incomplete, and we have a new quarterback. Dave Delahunt was the man who threw that pass. Number 59, Paul Raddatz defending. But they have taken Bill May out of the lineup, and there is Delahunt. Maybe he's got a better throwing arm. Maybe that's why he's in there.
Yeah, that's interesting. May's had some great success with this football team.
Pretty much a judgment call on whether that was a pass or not. It goes Rapids' way. Delahunt at quarterback. Second down and 10. Delahunt on the keeper. A couple of yards, not much. Now May comes back into the ball game. It looked like he had his helmet off. Maybe he had an equipment problem.
That's very possible, because I wouldn't see the great strategy in taking that youngster out of there now as well as he's playing and as far as he's taken him.
So Bill May is back in at quarterback. Third down and 9. That's the situation he faces at the 48. Now they give to Nelson loads of running room to the outside. He's got the first down. There's a penalty flag on the play. 2 flags on the play. And we should have holding against Park Rapids. Well, that'll hurt. Paul Briggs, number 89, made the tackle on Nelson. They had a big gain for the first down, but Scott Disney, I believe, was caught holding.
He's the lead guard on that play, and that's sometimes easy to do when you're going down and working as hard to block. He's done an awfully good job of blocking on that play. But this particular time, he got his hands out away from his body, and they caught him on it. That's a tough break for them, because they just had the turnover and had the good momentum, and now they've got a long way to go. But I found out something about them in the second half. They can go a long way in a very short period of time.
That is the first penalty of the football game on Park Rapids. And it did not come at a very good time. If there is a good time for a penalty.
I was just going to say, I've never seen one come at a good time.
If there is a good time. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Third down and now 25 yards to go. The pitch to Nelson. He hands off to Packer. Fumble on the play. I think Packer recovered. Well, now suddenly Rapids getting a little sloppy. And Packer is not jumping up too quickly as he is holding his back.
You spotted quarterback Bill Mays with his helmet off. He has a very severe headache. Coaches are a bit concerned about it, so from time to time, his playing time might be on a series basis. Let's go back upstairs.
Well, that's interesting to note there.
I wonder if that heat, I was kind of interested when one of the coaches said at the halftime that it was hot down there.
Here's the fumble again. You wouldn't think that it would be hot down there, but maybe he just got knocked around. Packer on the fumble recovers his own fumble. Packer is still down on the turf, but maybe he just got knocked around a little bit. He's got a headache.
There's something else, too, that, you stop and think about it, and I don't know if it's a factor. I guess we're just setting up here trying to figure out why some things happen. These youngsters have been out in pretty cool weather for the last month or two and been playing their games at night in cool weather, and all of a sudden, if it is warm, it's a temperature change for them. It's different than playing in August.
Well, there's quite a difference between playing indoors and playing outdoors.
Sure.
He is still down. He's holding his back, but it appears now that he's going to get up and leave the field under his own power. Rob Lear mentioned the fact that Bill May will come in and out of the game, and May at this moment is in the game and replacing. It appears also that Dave Delahunt is also in the game. So I think they're trying to make a decision on who's going to be the quarterback here. There is some confusion. Maybe they're one man short. They need another back. Nelson is yelling to the sidelines. They may have some trouble here. Well, they start the clock, so now it appears that they have a center. They were missing a center. They are confused, and they take a timeout.
That's a costly timeout, too, and this ball game can get awfully close when you might need that a little later on in the half.
It appeared that they did not have a center, and it is awfully tough to get the play underway without a center.
So I'm interested in the fact that they've got two quarterbacks in there.
Unless Delahunt is replacing the injured Packer.
And then you might see some kind of a pass off of that wingback.
A couple of handoffs,
and you got another quarterback in the game. He's used to throwing the ball.
One of the injured players for Park Rapids, number 74, Pat Morella. He was the starting offensive guard. He is on the sidelines. However, Darrell Wattenhofer has filled in quite admirably. Number 52. He's done a good job. 4th down and 27. Made to punt. Now they're set. Kick is away. They let this one bounce. It could roll a long ways, and it does. That was a mistake. It is to the 15, inside the 15, and still rolling. They finally down the ball at the 11-yard line. A mistake there. The kind of end-over-end punt that'll kick on you.
That's called hidden yardage, and if you would go and look at films after the game and figure it out, anytime you let things like that go, there's hundreds of yards in football games all over the country in hidden yardage every year because of those kinds of errors in fielding the punt.
That's the longest punt of the season for Mr. Bill May, 53 yards.
30 of it rolling, at least 20 of it.
A minute 37 left in the third quarter. Hutchinson 1st and 10. Here's the handoff in the backfield, and it's no go for Joel Newcomb. Dan Wattenhofer, number 22, the captain of the Rapids team, on the tackle. Well, Rapids, during the regular season, their defense had 5 shutouts. They certainly aren't going to shut out Hutchinson today. But they have had good defensive play throughout the season. They would love to have the defense hold the Hutchinson Tigers now. It would be a big turnaround. Andy Rosberg, the quarterback. Fakes, keeps, to the 10, 15, 20. Out of bounds at the 20-yard line, about a yard and a half short of the first down.
Good block out front by Lenz.
Tony Hicks, number 42, covering for Park Rapids.
Watch the block out front. This is designed quarterback trying to get to the boundary all the way. Good block right there on 42, on 24 by Lenz.
3rd down and 2. Watch him give it to Lenz. Up. False start. And that's going to go against the defense.
Penetrating neutral zone, I think.
Number 70, Mike Baumgartner. In a little early, so they give him the first down.
All of a sudden making little mistakes that they hadn't made the whole way.
Well, you don't want to give Hutchinson a first down because once they get rolling and they get on a tempo, they just go left, right, and march right down the field.
Yeah, the rhythm of their offense was very evident the last time they had the ball.
1st and 10 at the 25. The give is to Lenz. It looked like he was going to pick up 1 yard. He winds up getting about 4.
That's what you call bullying your way for an extra 4.
Very strong. He's not only big, you know, there are a lot of big kids around, but he's strong. He's got some power in those legs.
Thank you.
Gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. 19 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. This should be the last play of the 3rd quarter. This is Newcomb. Newcomb has the first down and more. As he is over the 35-yard line to about the 38. The clock is running. That will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. The Hutchinson Tigers leading by 7, starting to drive the football once again. There is a break.
If you're running out of ways to tell your boss the copier's broken and would do anything to avoid facing him, tell your boss about Panasonic copiers. Our compact copiers have advanced electronics to help prevent breakdowns. The magnifying toning process makes great copies, great reductions too. So tell your boss it's time for a Panasonic.
See Panasonic copiers at Copy Duplicating Products in Bloomington.
Now that's cute.
You want to see something cute?
Shirt tails. Joey loves the shirt tails. Cost much? No, $5. 4, 3, 2, less than 2?
Just $1.69 each at Hardee's. I got all 5 of them.
Hardee's Restaurant.
Good idea?
Sensational. What if we put Tig here next to the others?
I bet that's the first thing he runs to in the morning.
Buy any sandwich and a medium Coke or any soft drink at the regular price and take home a shirt tail stuffed animal for $1.69 each.
Chris McWatt, just one of the many, many cameramen we have scattered throughout the Metrodome. And there's the picture that he's delivering to you in your living room. Can't say enough about the great job that all of the technical crew has done here at the Metrodome today. 1st and 10 at the 38 for the Tigers. High formation. Newcomb right up the middle, couple of yards. We have some 60 personnel here tonight at the Metrodome, well, throughout the day, under the direction of Bob Sears and, of course, the big boss, Mr. John Deegan. And at the controls directing, Super Steve Hammergren. Nice pictures, gentlemen. 11:28 left in the 4th quarter. And suddenly, Park Rapids starting to shut down a little bit that running game of Hutchinson.
That was Lenz again. That's that rolling off tackle. And he didn't find nearly the running room that he's been finding in there.
This is the first time I've seen them with a 3rd and 4. They've been picking up quite a lot on 1st and 2nd down. Be interesting to see what they do here. That's Grady Rosberg, the Tigers head coach, and his son, Andy Rosberg, is fixing to take the snap. 3rd and 4. Rosberg keeps it, but it's not enough. Rapids will hold. And if they can get a decent run back on the punt, they should get some field position. Mike Baumgartner and Dave Benson on the tackle. Rosberg will drop back to punt. And dropping back to receive the punt for Rapids will be Bill May and number 20, Jeff Packer. All right, let's have a couple of cheers there. Rosberg first down, and it's much more. It's inside the 30-yard line.
What a beautiful play, and what a great time to call it. I mean, that was gorgeous. That's the old fake punt Statue of Liberty. Hand that sucker back, and around you go.
Jeff Bula, number 21. Look at that beautiful fake.
Isn't that great? I mean, even the ball handling on that isn't easy, and it was executed to perfection. Good block out front.
Notice how he hit that ball behind his hip. Just beautiful. Jeff Bula brings it to the 29-yard line, and suddenly Rapids, they thought they were going to get the football, and now Hutchinson's driving and deep in their territory. Here's the give to Lenz.
The play took a little courage, but by the same token, you give that ball back to Park Rapids, and they've shown us in the last 2 possessions that they can stick it in the end zone. And as long as Hutchinson's got the football, Park Rapids can't score.
Baumgartner and Nelson on the tackle for Rapids. Bula comes back into the ball game, number 21 with the play, I should say. He and Tim Dobratz alternate back and forth. Paul Lenz, 16 rushes, 93 yards so far on the game. He is the lone setback. He gets the football, and he rolls his way inside the 25-yard line to the 24. And this is a key down for Park Rapids.
I have a hunch Mr. Lenz is getting very tired. You know, he's walking back to that huddle slower and slower.
He's been going both ways. He's really been a workhorse.
And he's got 8 minutes and 26 more seconds, and his high school career is over. He could suck it up that long.
3rd and 5. Big play for Rapids. Rosberg gives to Newcomb. Newcomb has the first down. Depending on how they mark the ball, he should have the first down with his forward progress, but it looks like they're not going to give it to him.
Oh, there's no question.
Oh, he has it. Well, maybe I better think again here, because it's right on the 19-yard line.
Stopped by May and Dan Wattenhofer. Timeout to measure.
I think he's got it.
On the 19-yard line, it's not going to be by much. Not going to be by much. And he's short. Boy, it is close. Nope, they give it to him.
Got those great eyes, Bob.
It is close. Well, I'll tell you, they're still sharp as a hawk, Cal.
Yeah.
Well, with 8 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in the game, a key first down for the Hutchinson Tigers. Rosberg, the quarterback. High formation, gives straight up the middle of the Lenz. He's inside the 15, still running, still going. Fumble! Oh, wait and see who recovered. Hutchinson. He's the last man to get up off the... Did he get his own fumble? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he's not a great burst of speed, but he just keeps rolling. He doesn't stop.
Well, he lets everybody get the hold of him, and he just drags the whole pile for about 15 yards.
He just goes
Look
on
at
and
this.
on.
Look at this. He just keeps going.
I think he might have scored if he hadn't dropped the ball.
I wouldn't have been surprised, because he's close enough now.
1st and goal to go at the 5-yard line. The Tigers hoping to maybe put that Class A championship away right here. They gave to Newcomb. Not much there. Number 61, Burlingame, on the tackle. Lenz, 8. Newcomb has 21 rushes for 93 yards, so Hutchinson very shortly will probably have 2 backs with over 100 yards in rushing. Lenz drives his way. Do they give him the touchdown? He is oh so close. Oh, so close. He drives and burrows and just pushes his way.
Pretty good power on the linebackers, but there's a pretty good job being done at the line of scrimmage, too, of standing up those defensive linemen and giving him a chance to find a crack in there.
4 players on Lenz that time, and guess who the ball is going to go to this time? Nope, quarterback sneak for the touchdown. Andy Rosberg, the quarterback, goes in for the score.
Park Rapids defense looks a little tired, but then maybe they should be. They've been in there a long time, and you keep trying to carry the weight of that big Lenz and that powerful inside running attack. Park Rapids line just kicked him off the line of scrimmage and put him in the end zone, that quarterback sneak.
Nice offensive blocking there. You saw
Beautiful
that
job.
surge of that offense. It's a fake, going for 2. The throwback to Ulrich, breaks the tackle, and he'll have it. The 2-point conversion is successful. And that might have just locked up the trophy right there. We'll take a break now with a break in the action with a score, Hutchinson 29, Park Rapids 14.
It's time to set yourself free from the bind of storm windows, window maintenance, and painting. This area's #1 replacement window specialist can free you from the yearly problems and dangers of window maintenance. J.J. Grundy presents the exclusive line of Grundy Guard windows. That's why Grundy Guard windows are America's #1 replacement window. J.J. Grundy will tailor the window to fit your home and budget. When you call the number at the bottom of your screen, you are assured of this area's replacement window leader. J.J. Grundy offers the finest in sales, service, and installation. Plus, by calling now, you'll qualify for a special limited time offer. Call now and qualify for a $50 trade-in on each of your old windows. J.J. Grundy, the #1 replacement specialist who received the Image of the Year award from the National Association of the Remodeling Industry. Call J.J. Grundy now. Receive $50 trade for each of your old windows and do away with window maintenance forever. Save energy costs and add value and beauty to your home. Call now. There's no...
Back live at the Metrodome, and you can see the weight of what has just happened on the shoulders of the Park Rapids players. They had Hutchinson stopped. They gave up the fake punt, and Hutchinson goes in to score. They had the 2-point conversion. The Tigers ran quickly off the field, and Rapids, well, their players, you could see them. They know that Class A championship has all but slipped out of their hands. A squib kick, fumbled. Hutchinson may have recovered. They do. That might just about do it, Cal.
Yeah, it's their ball. That's a real shocker, and that's a morale breaker if there ever was one.
Well, you could see after that touchdown was scored, the total life of the Park Rapids team just drain out of them. And here, the kind of mistake that happens after something like that.
They're tired. They're very tired football, and then the psychological disadvantage of being down as they are and being scored on as they were has to have drained them mentally as well as physically.
For Hutchinson, a first down at the Park Rapids 34, but more importantly, just 6 minutes and 7 seconds remaining to play in the game. So a sustained drive here will wrap up the championship. Rosberg gives to Newcomb, running room, could have more, caught from behind by Dean Yoakum. They had to catch him from behind. And it is all but over now, Cal.
Yeah, I believe so.
Here's a replay again.
That's just giving that deep ride to the tailback, letting him find that soft spot, and he found one off tackle. And he strides through there pretty well.
Newcomb now, 22 rushes, 108 yards. So the Tigers now have Andy Roshberg. Don't you know his father, the head coach, is proud of his efforts today. This is Len. Doesn't want to go down.
They've made those 200 yards with 2 plays, too. Going both ways.
Well, they haven't needed a lot of variety in their offense. As long as you have that offensive line, which I should mention because they've been a key in this game for Hutchinson. Lance Schronke, Paul Snyder, Larry Kramer, Brian Gallus, Dave Kucera. Those are the men in that interior line that have really done a yeoman's job today. The fake to Newcomb. This is Rosberg. He wants another touchdown. He may have it. He does.
Well, I hate to see it, but I think the party may be over.
Well, I think the party is definitely over now.
This is a beautiful play. This is a designed run all the way. Len's out front blocking. Got enough speed to get by the outside linebacker. Len did something very smart there. Didn't throw the blocks because of the clip. Did you notice that? That was interesting.
Well, they'll be losing. A point after touchdown is good. And with a break of the action, the score is Hutchinson.
Mitsubishi brings the turbo age down to earth. The new Tredia Turbo Sedan, under $9,000, with an electronically fuel-injected engine, specifically engineered for its turbo system. A grand comfort sedan with Mitsubishi Turbo Power. Non-turbo Tredias start under $6,600. Mitsubishi Tredias take you where you've never been before.
If everybody was a 40 regular, you wouldn't need a tailor. If every business was the same, you wouldn't need us. At Federated, we take pride in tailoring your business insurance to fit your particular needs, what kind of insurance you need and in what amounts. It all starts with our exclusive security survey. We talk, we listen. We think it's about time you got some coverage that fits.
In Hutchinson, see Rob Rundglein. In Park Rapids, call Jack Kent.
Live, and that picture really sums up the emotions of the Park Rapids bench. They know that this year there will not be a Class A championship for the Panthers.
But
they gave it a good shot.
There'll be a second-place trophy, and as I said this morning, they're here, and that's important. And that'll be the great memories they'll take home with them.
Back deep is May, and Packer, a squib kick. Picked up and returned to the 35.
That's done on purpose, and that's a very smart thing to do.
It was Tony Hicks, number 42, with the football.
Knowing full well that Park Rapids is going to try reverses and counters and maybe run one way and throw back. They've got a lot of that stuff in their offense, so why give it to those deep backs? Let someone up front handle it that's not used to handling it. Who knows?
First and 10 for Park Rapids at their own 35-yard line. And a little discussion at midfield.
There's a rag on the field over there, a hanky on the field on the other side.
I just noticed that at the 45-yard line. And
there was an altercation of some kind on that.
Yeah. Some of the frustrations beginning to show. Now we'll get the official announcement here. Personal foul against Park Rapids.
Ball on a run back. First down 10.
And the chants of we're number one starting to echo out of the stands on the far side of the field from the Hutchinson cheer section. And they brought a lot of people, a lot of black and gold up there in the stands. This is breaking free is Nelson. Nelson has enough for the first down. The problem is when you have a team that lives by the run, you can also die by the run. because when you get behind in a game like this, you really don't have the ability to come back. 1st and 10 at the 30. May with a handoff to number 33 is Nelson, and boy, is he having a great second half. 5 rushes for 81 yards, and that was before that carry. So Nelson has come on strong here in the second half. But it will not be enough. Paul Briggs, number 89, on the tackle. Don't forget, coming up immediately following the against Bloomington Jefferson at a halftime. Oh, what a show we have for you. May back to Nelson. He's going to throw. Looks for Packer, overthrown. Well, as we said, when you're a running football team, it's very difficult. And you notice Jeff Packer, the receiver on that play, he's limping. So this is a tired, hurt football team.
I saw Rossman come out limping a bit ago.
Lost a couple of their linemen to injuries. A gutsy football team, though. They've really hung in there. The key play of the game, that fake punt.
Yeah, that blew it open. That completely blew it open.
3:44 remaining. A couple of fakes, and in the backfield. Is that 79? Yes, it is. Tony Janer. It's amazing how the fortunes can swing so quickly. As Rapids, their defense suddenly shut down Hutchinson, and it appeared that they would definitely have to punt away, and then suddenly the fake punt, and the game just slips out of their hands. That never happened to you, though.
No, never. We had an awfully good football game going up until that time.
Bill May, Nelson wants to pass again. Looking for May, it's intercepted. Intercepted by number 43.
Throw back to the quarterback.
Of Hutchinson, Russ Jonas. And there's a break in the action with the...
Panasonic invites you to step ahead of your time to the next dimension in television. Step ahead of your time to Panasonic Color Television with CompuFocus. A system of TV optics so ahead of its time, it can produce a picture so sharp and clear, the TV set you're watching isn't sharp and clear enough to show it. Step ahead of your time to a Panasonic video camera that focuses automatically and adjusts to light, even low light. Step ahead of your time to a stereo video recorder that records from TV or from life with 4-head technology for jitter-free effect from slow motion to stop motion. Step ahead of your time to Panasonic Omnivision Video Systems and
This is an effort to throw to the halfback and then back to May, the quarterback. The quarterback is eligible for the pass, and of course the interception here, and a dead ball foul of some sort after the interception. Evidently put the ball back another 15 yards. I couldn't find it in there, but it was a dead ball foul of some kind.
Really didn't see anything, but it did cost Hutchinson. They moved the ball back to the 31-yard line, but with 2 minutes and 58 seconds, that picture right there will tell you who the winner of this football game will be. He will not be wearing orange and black. New quarterback into the game now as Hutchinson starts to substitute. It's number 14, Pat Mooney. Pat Mooney gets a chance to show off a little bit. The handoff there to Dan Ortloff. Ortloff, number 35, into the game for the first time. Almost down to the 2-minute mark. Mooney at quarterback. They give off right tackle to number 31, Joel Newcomb. Dean Yoakum again makes the tackle. Newcomb adding to that impressive yardage he has already piled up in this game today. The clock ticking away, and Hutchinson, the Tigers, will be crowned the Class A football champion. And it will be a well-deserved victory. They have really shown that they can really put the muscle and the fundamentals together to put together a solid game. Newcomb with 23 rushes, 119 yards. This time, number 35, Ortloff. Ortloff fights his way to the 45. Yoakum again on the tackle. Yoakum's number is 44, and that's about how many tackles he's made today.
I'll tell you one thing, that youngster hasn't given up. He came to play. He's going to play them all.
Jeff Packer, who had a whale of a game for Park Rapids, number 20, has just left the game. He's limping just a little bit as they put in some substitutes. There you see him. You have to hand it to him because Packer was a guy who had a strain in his arch, and you can see him limping around. He's got some problems with it. He came in today, gave it his best shot, but at least for today, it wasn't quite enough. And a different story on the other side of the field. They've got a lot of juniors and sophomores on this Hutchinson team. They will be back again, I can assure you. Have a flag on the play. I was just looking at that offensive line of Hutchinson. They've got Stronke coming back next year, the left tackle. The right guard will be back. Gallus. Kusera, the right tackle, will be back. And the left end, Benshoff, will be back. So really, they've got the majority of that offensive line back next year.
Look at their defense. There are a lot of juniors there, too. In fact, he wasn't sure that he was going to make it this year because he thought he might be a year young.
He also said it was the smallest defense opportunity to get out on the field and say that they played. Substitutions now freely. We're down to 30 seconds left in the game, and in about another 25 seconds, the celebrations are going to break out. Dean Ortliff, number 35, for a few more yards, and that could be the final play of the Class A championship game as Hutchinson will go on to win by a score of 36-14.
Speaks for itself, doesn't it? Just sit and watch them.
Well, they've got some kind of football team.
Yeah, they were very impressive.
There you see the folks I was talking about earlier. They got a lot of Hutchinson right here in the Metrodome. And of course, the folks back home are going to be really celebrating tonight the Class A championship victory by their Tiger football team. And look at that embrace. Grady Rosberg embracing his son, Andy. No matter what he'll tell you, there has to be pressure when the starting quarterback is your own son.
I think I'd go embrace that fullback, that tailback, too, and those linemen up front.
A great game by Paul Lenz, Joel Newcomb, and of course that big offensive line that I mentioned earlier. And the defense as well. And to Park Rapids, well, they can be awfully proud that they qualified for Prep Bowl 83, and they go home with second place in Class A football. As you can see, the Hutchinson players gather in front of their fans on the far side of the field. Side of the field, the Park Rapids team walking down in front of their supporters, and they deserve it. They were undefeated throughout the season. This is their first loss of 1983. There is the second place trophy.
And the team's Rooter section. Stay by your Rooter section, please.
Let's go down for the award ceremony.
Thank you, fans, for not going onto the field. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention is directed to the area in front of the Park Rapids Rooter section. Jody Brandvold of Brooklyn Center and Brent Gish of Natawash will present the trophies and the medals, assisted by the Minnesota State High School League executive staff. Will the captains of the Park Rapids team please come forward to receive their silver medals and their second-place trophy? Congratulations to the Park Rapids team. Now, ladies and gentlemen, your attention is directed to the area in front of the Hutchinson Rooter section. There, representing the State High School League Board of Directors, Fred Switzer of Morris and Kerwin Engelhart of Rochester will be assisted by the Minnesota State High School League executive staff in making the presentation. Will the captains of the Hutchinson team please come forward to receive their gold medals and their championship trophy for Class A. Congratulations to the entire Hutchinson team and staff. This concludes the award ceremony.
There you have it, the Class A champions, the Hutchinson Tigers, holding up their trophy here at the Metrodome. And in just a moment, we will be...
How big a bargain are those low-priced water softeners? Here's the real price of buying one. You pay for cost and installation. You pay for interest. You pay for salt, for extra water, sewage, and power. You pay for repairs. You could pay over $1,500. That's no big bargain. But now you can dissolve hard water problems and save with this special offer from Culligan. For just $5, your Culligan man will install famous Culligan water in your home. But there's more. Call this toll-free number for information about Culligan's rental service program, the money-saving, worry-free way to enjoy Culligan water. There's nothing to buy, no interest, no salt, no repair bills, no energy expense, and no problems. You'll save hundreds over the real price of a bargain brand and still enjoy Culligan quality. Remember, for a limited time, installation is just $5. For details, call Culligan toll-free. Act now and receive Culligan's free.
Save now during Cloud, Minnesota's annual fall sale.
You bet you can. Right now, buy kitchen cabinets and get either the white and gold or light butcher block countertop free.
That's right, Sheriff. Free from Micah tops when you buy cabinets.
Yup, and when you buy these Merillat bath vanities with a marble top, the Peerless washerless faucet is free.
Even Thorpe financing is free for 90 days.
Plywood, Minnesota's great fall sale with free countertops when you buy kitchen cabinets.
We're the value givers.
Direct from the factory to you.
The Water Bedroom announces their inventory reduction sale. In a very short period of time, we must sell $250,000 worth of our existing inventory to make room for new stock arriving daily. During this special sale, everything in all departments will be on sale, including all waterbeds, bedroom furniture, accessories, and bedding. The Water Bedroom will also have many floor model waterbeds to choose from, all at closeout prices. But you have to hurry.
Back at the Metrodome, let's go right down to Ed Cairo and talk to some very, very happy people from Hutchinson. Ed?
I left Joel Newcomb running back. There's Andy Rosberg, the quarterback, and of course Coach Rosberg. And now here comes Diesel. If he wore number 44, I think he could play for the Redskins. Let's start over here, Joel. Fantastic performance by both you guys running today.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I just want to, put a lot of credit to our offensive line because all year they did a super job of firing out and making the big holes for us today. And with Paul, opening it up inside for me a lot, that helps. And then, it opens up off tackle and outside for me and Andy. But, I don't know, it's just great being here. I didn't really believe it until now that we finally won, but it's just super to be here and great. A lot different, though, running.
Was there any question that you might not be here considering the ankle problem you had?
No, I played last week, but just kind of like a couple plays in a series, and it didn't bother me too bad unless I jumped a little bit. But this week it didn't bother me at all in the game tonight, but you know, just the rug burns kind of hurt a little bit, and got a shot in the thigh, and that kind of put me out for a while. But the ankle felt really good. Had a lot of work on it, a lot of help from people in Hutch. Really helped me out a lot.
Okay, Joel says that the offensive line has been a credit to his running all year. You didn't seem to need him.
Yeah, I agree 100% with Joel. They're the ones who make the